atomic gigantification was a sweeping Japan nation when along came a dude with an ultra attitude, a Kamen rider who's the greatest kicker of Japan. And of all, man, life's too short now, baby, to not talk big now, baby.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Kaiju Conversation. I'm your host, Elijah, and joining me again, as always, my lovely co-host and editor.
Hello, I am Rex, and we are back.
We are. This is the first time that we've recorded in about 10 months, roughly?
No, not that long, I think. I hope.
I can fact check that real quick. It's been a while.
I'm going to guess about 6 months.
4 months,
maybe 7.
actually. 4 months ago. It feels a lot longer than
better.
4 months. But you know
I
what?
think 6 months feels about right.
4.
No, that's what I'm saying. 6 months feels about right to me. Shut up. Shut up. I heard
4,
you the first time.
So it's shorter than 6 months.
I heard you.
Well, you're wrong.
That's great. Thanks.
So, happy Halloween.
You were even more wrong.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
What's Thanksgiving?
Don't worry about it. I mean, so much has happened. The Epstein files are still not released.
Oh, so nothing's happened.
Oh boy. We'll see what makes it and what doesn't. Happy G-Fest weekend, happy Labor Day, happy Valentine's Day, happy all the holidays, because we missed them. What did we miss in Australia?
Melbourne Cup, I guess, which wasn't even a public holiday for me, but, these things happen. I don't know. What else? King's birthday.
Oh, we got to celebrate the kings, There's kings everywhere, and we got to make sure they acknowledge...
Oh, I don't care about the king at all. Who cares about the royal family?
Well, there's been some protests about kings. I don't know if they've reached you yet, but...
Oh, yeah. I know about those ones.
Yeah. AI has been posted on some government pages. I won't say who or where. Keeping it politically neutral here.
Yeah, this has been very politically neutral.
I think it's been very politically neutral.
It's been as politically neutral as it really should be.
Mm-hmm. But more importantly, besides politics, Rex, how have you been in these last 4 months?
Man, things have been kind of phenomenal recently in a lot of different ways. I mean, obviously there was G-Fest, which I don't think we're going to go into too much detail on that today.
Yeah, so
bonus probably.
Yeah, real quick before we get sorry to cut you off. Before we get into that, we are going to do a G-Fest recap episode as we normally do. But between G-Fest and then everything that happened that you're going to go into and then I'll eventually go into, it's been crazy. So after this, we will be doing a G-Fest recap. Expect that to be not the next episode, but coming soon, very soon, hopefully. We made a deal. We made a deal.
It will. It has to now. So it will.
We've made the commitment. Nobody objected to the I do's, and we had a witness, and it's been ordained.
Jesus, bro, we're not getting married.
No, but the podcast is back.
I don't want to be married to you, bro. God, I think I'd kill myself.
Neither does my girlfriend. It's okay. That's a joke. Everything's fine.
Okay. I'm now raised.
No, she's usually the one to ask why I haven't bought a ring yet. But we're going to get back on track here. Your life has been crazy since G-Fest. G-Fest was wild, But what came after G-Fest? Not the week after G-Fest, though, because that'll be in the recap.
Oh, God. So, yeah, went to America, left America. God, what happened?
You didn't get shot.
That is so true. Well, I did see guns, courtesy of you.
You never saw my gun.
You have a gun?
It was in this house before I got here.
That doesn't count.
It's one of those things where it's just like, been here.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't have a license. I do not use it. I don't even know how you turn it on.
Yes, you turn on a gun. Let me just turn on my pistol real quick.
I don't know where the plug-in goes. Where's the screen on this? Is there an auto lock on? What button do I just have to hold down to get it to shoot?
Clearly, it's the big X button on the side of the gun, you know?
Okay.
That's very real.
I thought it was the trigger on the front.
They've got an X, they've got a square, they've got a circle, and they've got a triangle. Each of those buttons do different thing, you know what I mean?
I wish I knew which game system you were referencing.
PlayStation.
I thought it being an X, it was an Xbox.
No, that's A, B, X, and Y.
Why not A, B, C, D?
Well, you gotta have the X for Xbox, you know what I mean?
That's the button in the middle. You have two X's.
But there's also an X. There's also the X.
They're both X's.
They're both on X's. The right side.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. But we're not here to talk about video games.
Are we? I thought we were.
Sadly not.
We will be.
Are we? I don't remember which one, but...
We'll see.
Ooh, fancy. Exciting.
So besides American guns...
Yeah, besides that, had a party, a welcome back party, and then immediately got thrown into another semester of film, which ended up probably being the best semester I've had. Yeah,
so I am going to ask you to actually, instead of gloss over everything, like explain like how many projects you actually worked on and like what those were, because if I'm going to be honest, like you and I have talked, like it's not been 4 months. We talked like 2 days ago.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
But I don't even know what all you've done, because it's just been like, oh yeah, I went and did this and I did that and that. It's like, how many projects, how many of these are just the same projects? I don't know. So I want to hear about it. Let's hear about it.
Okay, so let me just think of like the main units I had. So I have 3 units, 3 film units a semester, 1 minor that I hate. And so one was like the theory class, which was focused on documentaries. So no real filming for that class, since again, it's theory, but I did end up watching a bit of Werner Herzog through that, so that was fun. So we had one class that was dedicated to doing pitches for next year's, for the final year productions. So for that, we would come up with a narrative and a documentary idea and then pitch those to like a small panel of previous graduates. And for those pitches, we could film a teaser. You could film a teaser for one, you could film a teaser for both. Our group, we only did one, but I ended up getting attached to another one of those projects. And then the other unit I had was a unit called Multicam, where basically the gist of it was we would make a game show, like that would be broadcast live on YouTube, and so it'd be 10 minutes of a game show, and then the last 5 minutes would be a live band performance. And so, I mean, during that class, we had a bunch of practices of like different sorts of like live broadcast shows you could do. These ones weren't broadcast live, but they were recorded. So there was like one was just like a live band performance and whatnot. And we ended up using that band for our final assessment. Another was like a news show. We had one of our guys came up, pretended to be Tom Cruise, promoting like a Mission Impossible movie and whatnot. It was like a pretend weather show and whatnot, just to sort of like familiarize everyone with like the camera gear and vision mixing and whatnot. And yeah, so what were the actual like productions, like main productions I worked on?
No, not main. I want all of it.
Well, yeah, I'm like taught like those multicam ones are like the non-main ones that I'm talking about. Yeah, so those were just like those multicam things were small things that we did throughout the semester. But then a friend of mine who I had met last year in one of my classes, she asked me if I wanted to help work on her short film. And of course I'm like, hell yeah. So I worked on this short film called Her Hour that we ended up staying at an Airbnb for about 4 or 5 days. Yeah, 4 days straight of filming. I was gaffer, but I also ended up doing a fair bit of boom operating as well for that. And yeah, that was so much fun. I only really knew one person before getting involved in that project, but by the end of it, several of us had kind of like become like this mini sort of family by the end of like those 4 days. And it's like, now it's like I really want to work with them all again. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was an absolute joy. And I'm really excited to see the finished short film. And so, yeah, that was like a Monday to Thursday shoot. And then Friday we were like leaving the Airbnb and like taking the equipment back and whatnot. And yeah.
Now, so just so I'm keeping track. So you were gaffer and boom operator for a short film. And then you worked on a game show as what?
I'll get into the game show in a minute.
Okay. Okay.
I'll get into that in a minute. But then immediately after 2 days later, after we'd finished that on the Sunday, I ended up going down to the Gold Coast to film at this. We ended up going down to this high school to film the teaser for our narrative pitch for the narrative class. The Her Hour short film I was up on, that was not a uni project. That was just with people I know. People from uni, some aren't even uni students, but yeah. That was just a passion project of the director that she'd had since like last year. Mm-hmm. Since I met her, actually. But yeah, so Sunday then went down to the Gold Coast, went down to school, and we filmed and we shot the teaser for the audition across like 4 hours. It was a short shoot. I mean, it was only it's only like a minute and a half, the teaser, I think. And like part of it, a good chunk of it is like 2 different long takes. I was the cinematographer. Well, yeah, I was the cinematographer for that. So I was obviously did a lot of did camera operating for that, which was fun. It was interesting because it was like I was holding the camera, but I was also like, we were basically, because it's like a one take sequence, so you're walking like through this is like a big private school, by the way. Like, it's a really fancy private school, and we're in like this theater building they had. So it's like a gigantic theater. And we're walking through different rooms of the theater and walking to the stage and whatnot. And I'm walking across the stage, and I have to be careful not to fall off the edge. Mm-hmm. And yeah, obviously I had a spotter. But yeah, it was an interesting challenge, and it was a lot of fun for how short the shoot was. Sorry. It was good fun. Sadly, our pitch didn't get approved, even though I think our pitch actually went really, really well.
Now, that's the pitch that recently happened, right? Or is this a different one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's the one I was telling you about. We had a documentary pitch too, but we didn't film anything for that because it was just a bit of a mess with the documentary, because the person who was like the leading man behind that kind of barely interacted with us. He didn't even show up to help us like film this teaser. He ended up missing the narrative pitch, which was really funny. But yeah, so we filmed that. That was fun. That was a good shoot day. And at that point, it seemed like I didn't really have anything other than the final multicam assessment. However, that's not actually true, because during the short film Her Hour, on the second day of shooting, there was this one girl who was just doing like behind the scenes photo on that day, and I ended up talking to her a bit during like the lunch breaks and whatnot. And she ended up asking me if I wanted to help doing sound recording for her, for a pitch that she was working on. So I ended up working on another group's documentary pitch. But the interesting thing with that is that was also the same day as the final multicam assessment day. So I ended up being involved on two projects on the exact same day, which was really interesting. So yeah, multicam, the game show. Yeah, so for that, it was a game show. It was like a food-themed game show. So you'd answer like trivia questions and whatnot, and whoever lost would end up being punished by eating disgusting food. And yeah, for that project, I was originally going to do camera operator for that, because there were several camera operator spots. Spots for several camera operators. But when I ended up actually when I ended up going to the teacher and selecting my role, for some reason, I saw that no one was working on lighting. And so I'm like, I'll do lighting. Which I was like, oh God, am I going to be the only person doing lighting? Why did I choose this? But thankfully, I wasn't the only person. Had two great other people helping me out with that, and that lighting ended up being a lot of fun. We worked on that like across several weeks. Things weren't really coming. It was slowly coming together. But it wasn't until we didn't have access to all the equipment and stuff, so on a lot of the rehearsals, so we were kind of just like figuring things out as we went. But on the final day, on the actual real day, like we were there for 8 hours. We had 8 hours worth of preparation and rehearsal. on that day, thankfully. So we ended up being able to really just hone in everything, get the look we wanted, fix a lot of the issues that we were having during like the rehearsals in the previous weeks, and even like make a lot of additions that we hadn't even thought of at all prior to that. And by the end of it, the lighting actually ended up being something that I think we all were actually quite happy with, all things considered. It looked pretty good. Couple minor errors. There were a couple things that, like, after the fact, I'm like, oh, this could look better, but honestly, I was really happy with how things turned out overall. It's kind of funny because for me, so we had like these tube lights that they would be like a neon green for most of the show, but during certain moments they would change colors to like red, for example. And there was kind of something specific I had to get with the timing right. And like during the rehearsals, I was like, it was like close, but usually wasn't quite there. But I was kind of starting to get it. But then on the final show during the broadcast, I actually got it like perfect. It was perfect, exactly how I wanted. And then I realized, and when I look back at the broadcast, the shots they're on, you can't tell at all.
That's how it is. That's exactly how it goes.
It really is. It really is, especially with like live broadcasting. But no, that was a lot of fun, and it felt our tutor had talked about the euphoric feeling of finishing like a live broadcast, and he was absolutely right. Like we all felt absolutely incredible after that. It was a shame I had to leave pretty soon after, because it was like a lot of us boys went up to like the bar and whatnot and playing pool and whatnot, and it was, for as short of a time as I was there, that was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, I was needed elsewhere, but that shoot ended up going quite well. That documentary pitch, that pitch actually, I wasn't on the pitch. I was just on the production part of it. But that pitch ended up going well. It actually got approved, so it's going to be produced next year, which will be fun. But yeah, met some really cool people on that one as well. So I might be attached to an upcoming project, thanks to someone on that. Hopefully, we'll see. That might be this month. That I don't know. Haven't heard it back for a while, so we'll see. But yeah. And then, last but not least, yesterday, so the multicam teacher, he ended up letting the cohort know that there was some opportunities coming up for some live shows for the university and that they needed like some camera operators, some vision mixers, tech directors, graphics, etc., etc. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll put my name down for the music showcase. And so I ended up working on that as a camera operator, which was a lot of fun. 12 hours of unpaid labor. It was good fun. I mean, I basically get like a free live music performance, so that's pretty awesome, you know. Have you ever done like live stuff before?
I have not, unless you count paneling and live streaming. I've never been involved in anything like that.
I would say they're similar. I would say not quite the same, but similar-ish. Similar-ish. Yeah, kind of similar.
It's probably similar to when I did Kaiju Weekly News for Kaiju Ramen, where like we had slideshows and like a planned like outline, and we had kind of a script to follow.
I guess what you've done is basically similar. Yeah, you've basically just done you've done hosting, like G-Fest panels and whatnot. You've hosted. I mean, that's basically what the hosts of game shows and like.
I'm doing it right now.
Music showcase. That's so true. We're doing, except this isn't live. Yeah, no, but you should definitely do it sometime. I think it's a lot of fun. I really think it's a lot of fun.
Let me call up my buddies who do live broadcasting every day. Actually, there was a news broadcast company that is like there's 3 or 4 in my area that did have a position open that I was told I should try for. It's just kind of scary.
You should try for G-Fest. Be like one of the tech guys at G-Fest. That's basic.
Well,
they
outsource that now.
Videos.
It's all outsourced. Yeah, so it's they have a company that comes in.
Damn.
That's why the first panel room, the one that was like dark lit and had the lights that had cues and all that.
Oh yeah.
That is like all outsourced. The AV team now, I think, is just the people who set up the other room, which is just quite simply a projector, 4 mics, and the sound system.
Damn.
So we got off track there. So just for a recap, you did the short film Her Hour. You worked on a narrative pitch. Now, for Her Hour, you were a gaffer and boom operator. The narrative pitch, you were the cinematographer. You worked on a documentary pitch as a gaffer?
No, sound recorders.
Sound recorder, okay. And then on the game show, you were the lighting technician.
Yeah.
And then, was there another project? Or is that it so far?
Well, yesterday I had the music showcase where I was a camera op for that.
Okay. And all of this stuff.
But then I will, because of that, I'm probably going to be attached to the next live thing that they have, which is a fashion show next week. So I will probably be a camera operator for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have been busy.
I have been. It's been a way busier. It's been busy in a good way. Like, this is the most on productions I've worked on consecutively, I feel like, and it's like I'm keen. Obviously, I was keen yesterday. I'm keen next week to get back and do that fashion show, and I'm keen to maybe work with some of the people on Her Hour to, fingers crossed, develop something. Fingers crossed, nothing set in stone yet. And for that, I actually want to get some of the people, one of the people I worked on in multicam, one of the lighting people to help out on that.
So there's more in your future.
Hopefully, yes. I certainly hope so. This is the best I've felt and most confident I've felt that maybe I'll actually make it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like things are somewhat kicking into gear, and it's a really nice feeling.
Good.
Not too much else has happened outside of that that I can really talk about. I went to the premiere of the new Predator movie. That was cool.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I really enjoyed it, as did the people I went with.
Give us your elevator review.
Dan Trachtenberg is an absolute madman. It feels like the Predator's finally moving forward as a franchise. It's not just staying in the same old territory. Not that was bad territory. Like, Prey was a very good film. I think I like Prey a bit more overall, but Prey is just one of those movies that I think the more I've watched it, the more I've come to appreciate it. Like, my initial impression of this one was better than my initial feelings towards Prey and Killer of Killers as well. Yeah, I think this is Dan's best portrayal, most true portrayal of the Predators. Prey and Killer of Killers have a couple things that kind of little bit off with the Predators and how they were in the first two movies in particular, but Badlands is probably the closest to perfect in that regard since the first two movies, with the Predators themselves. And yeah, it was awesome, and early thoughts at the moment, but yeah.
Okay.
Very good, very good movie. In the upper echelon of Alien and Predator movies, absolutely. When are you going to see it?
That's a great question. I still have to watch Prey and the Predator.
Damn, no Killer of Killers?
Maybe.
I would say watching Killer of Killers wouldn't hurt because there's some things in that are shown in live action in this movie.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Well,
it's not like homework. Like, you can watch it without having seen Killer of Killers. But yeah. Oh, and Wayland Yutani is also very faithful to themselves in how they are in the Alien movies. The Alien connection is very well done.
So he should just direct the AVP movie?
Yes.
Without a co-director?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, Fede Alvarez ain't even coming back anyway, so it's fine.
He said no way.
You know that movie's supposed to be filming, but there's no director?
Yeah.
Like, it was supposed to film, like, this month, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ain't that crazy?
It's a troubled production.
Oh, and the score for Badlands was really great, too. Really, really great score. So it's both the composer of Prey and also the composer of Killer of Killers / Romulus. So two different composers, and their work in this movie is phenomenal. Such an interesting score. But as much as I'd love to talk more Alien and Predator, I don't think that's the reason.
No.
Yeah. How have you been, though, regardless, in these times? I know you've been quite busy in your own ways.
I have been quite busy. A lot of it's been normal life, normal job, car work, housework.
Other jobs that you mostly can't talk about yet as well.
Well, I guess so. I don't recall what the update was last. So I'm just going to go down the list here. First, I'm going to establish the short film I'm working on, the Amity Q, directing and co-producing. It's a part of an anthology film called Amityverse Endgame from SRS Cinema. I don't recall if that was I think that was announced because I had signed the contract early this year. Technically, it's my first official commercial work as a filmmaker, which is pretty cool. I am writing and directing it as I previously established. It is... My elevator pitch is... Think Ultra Q meeting Amityville in the correct ways. It is black and white, 4.3. I actually have most of it done. I'm down to basically a page and a half of the script to film. My music's currently being made based off of what I do have filmed. I'm waiting some narration. I got some sound designing to do. And then it'll be included in the third of the Amityverse films coming from SRS Cinema. So that's pretty cool. I shot that over the course. So far, it's been about 2 days of filming. There will be a third, maybe fourth. Writing has been a little bit of a process, and then, of course, everything else. I've continued my creative consulting on the Giant Monster BS podcast. Episodes 87, 88, and 89 all had a hand. I had a hand in, at least, in the intros and outros, which is pretty fun. I got to write. This was something I was alluding to. I am once again a published author, this time in something I don't know. The last time I wrote something for an actual publisher was a review on a movie. And for some reason that just didn't feel it for me, if that makes sense. So I got to, this isn't like much better, but I did get to write for a foreword for the upcoming book G Cinema, an exploration and celebration of Japan's Monster King from Fonthill Media. It is written by podcast friend Danny DeManna of the Godzilla Novelization Project. So I got to write the foreword for that. That is probably the definitive book written about Godzilla, trying to explore all aspects of the franchise, from its roots to its outside influences. Danny actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he did source some of our research from our podcasts in his book. I don't know if there's going to be a sources page and you see that or not, but that's still pretty cool to be having a helping hand unintentionally in the research for a book from a company. So that's pretty cool. Besides that, I think the last Blu-ray I was working on at the time was Outer Man. So I did a photo gallery and some liner notes. They're not really liner notes. It's like a fake history of the Outer Man character. More so than that, I also got to do an audio commentary on the film, which was pretty cool. And in a wild turn of events, I didn't only just do the commentary by myself, but I had Minoru Kawasaki involved. Really crazy, because we've done multiple Kawasaki months covering Kawasaki's films. And here we are. I got to work with him on my watch. My watch that I wear, I can have multiple backgrounds on it, and one of them is a screenshot of me with Kawasaki and my translator. That was pretty cool. I can't lie. Following that, I got to work on another Kawasaki title, technically 3 Kawasaki titles, Dene's Chaos, which also included Dene's Kick and Dene's Q. I was the producer for the bonus features. I outsourced some liner notes from Danny. I did a video intro for the 3 films, and I edited a photo gallery. I was wanting to do an audio commentary, but there were some issues between scheduling and everything. It just didn't line up. However, that info and research might come back around one day. Outside of that, I'm currently working on the Visual Bandits Blu-ray box set, which includes 3 films under the Visual Bandits label: Visual Bandits, Gravestone of the Blank, Salamander Priscilla, and Lightway Home. They are 3 direct-to-video Japanese tokusatsu films. The first one features a giant monster. On the Blu-ray release, this is all through SRS, by the way, they are also including the 1989 8mm short film Wake Up the Death Treasure. So I'm working on that. Right now, I've done about 5 different slideshows, pulling some lost information from the films into some pretty cool slideshows, and I'm working on a couple video introductions right now. Outside of that, I also did an audio comment. Well, before I talk about this, I got to work with Media Blasters, although conjointedly. I got a special thanks credit in the audio commentary track for Kamen Rider the First. So the Kamen Rider Dyad trilogy, or Dyad Blu-ray, not trilogy, Blu-ray. The bonus features were produced by my good friend Matt Burkett. And so Matt called me and asked a couple questions, primarily about J-horror, because the second film, Kamen Rider the Next, is more of a horror film than anything. So actually I might have got the credit on that one instead. Or both, who knows. I have not got my copy yet, but I will be soon. So he picked my brain a little bit on Toei Video, and J-horror at the time. That was a couple hours of conversation, so I got a special thanks there. So that's pretty cool. But I also did another audio commentary, which I have not talked about publicly. It is for an upcoming Blu-ray 4K, which is cool. First 4K I worked on. 4K Blu-ray.
It's very exciting.
It is not an SRS Cinema title, and it is not a Media Blasters title. I cannot talk about it yet, but it was supposed to be announced, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, did not get announced. I'm currently waiting on the next update.
It was so funny though when you called me at 1 a.m. the night like this night before my multicam assessment. You called me at 1 a.m. to finish that.
Was that for the announcement, or was that?
No, for the last part, like just some minor editing part for it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because do the leveling.
I had stayed up all night, similar to tonight. It was 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't want to level." So I was like, "Can you level this for me?" And then you were on the phone with me when I finished it, uploaded it to Google Drive, and sent the files.
Yeah.
You were with me for that.
Yeah, and I ended up getting 3 hours of sleep thanks to you.
My pleasure. Hey, at this rate, I'm currently slated to get 4 hours of sleep, so...
Oh, wow.
So, okay. I win.
Hey, in my defense, I didn't get back that day until like 2 a.m. either.
One thing I will say, so I guess I've said a couple things. It's for a different label. It's Blu-ray 4K.
Let me be the victim.
An audio commentary. I will tell you, I got to work with Toei, which is pretty crazy. And not on my bingo card for the year, but it happened.
Yeah.
And it's not a title I was initially, like, if you're thinking, oh, it's Elijah Thomas, what Blu-rays has he worked on? Yuzo, Ninja Monsters, Liverleaf, which is kind of an outlier, Hoshi 35, Outer Man, Dennis Kick, Dennis Q, Dennis Chaos, Visual Bandits 1 through 3, Death Treasure. As you look at all these titles, you're like, yeah, there's like probably modern day Japanese kaiju, right? It is not that. Very much not that. But this does open the door for future possibilities, which is really crazy based off of, I can't tell you what company it was for as of yet. But when you find out, you'll be like, whoa, that's really ironic.
Yeah, you could say that, couldn't you?
It's really ironic. So we'll see. Rex does know all about it. I think I called you the night it happened because I was like, there's no way.
It
so
is
that's pretty cool.
Funny.
It's hilarious.
It's pretty cool. But I guess I can't say why it's pretty cool.
But it's pretty cool, you know.
I'll make it a little obvious on who it is.
There's still a couple, like there's a list. You just smaller.
Sure, but yeah, exactly.
So I'm hoping that it gets announced in the coming week or two. I'm hoping. We'll see. If you are wondering what it is, just check out my social media feeds. If it's been announced, I will 110% announce it and post it.
No, clearly that's a project you're so ashamed of you'll never promote it in any capacity.
Yeah. I will say this, between that audio commentary and Outerman, I think I've produced my favorite Blu-ray work this year. I really like the false history on Outerman. There's a couple projects that might be coming up for me. It's starting to look like next year's going to be a very busy year for me.
Nice.
But in all the right reasons. So we'll see how that ends up going. But it's been a lot of fun. And all the while doing, honestly, 3 of these projects all at once, I have also been working on one of the probably most relevant things for the podcast recently. And that is, of course, on our website, we have an updated list of upcoming kaiju films, because I do like to keep the listeners in the know of what is to come. If you want us to cover them, like, that's a great way, so we can just be like, okay, so this is a title people are wanting. Otherwise, we do have the upcoming television webpage, which is very much not up to date.
These things happen.
I worked on it a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. So that's, as time goes on, and if I have the ability to, I will update that page. But I also worked on probably my largest project for the website so far, which actually is connected to another project I was asked to be a part of that I can't talk about either in some sort of fashion. But I will be writing again. I'll say that I'll be writing again in a published book, by a cool author. So I worked on the Japanese kaiju movie database, which is a complete, as far as I can tell, list of every single Japanese giant monster movie produced from 1934 all the way to 2025, including the porn ones. It has been a very exhausting time doing that much research, and even after I announced it, I found like 30 more titles, and so I had to add those 30 more titles to the list. And then they were on there, and everything was fine again. It has been definitely a pretty big hit. People have definitely talked about it a lot more than I had initially planned on. But it covers pretty much everything you could possibly think of. Recently, I have also started to add like these database or these analytics that kind of tackle like which director of the decade did the most, which studio did the most, what's the most popular month, most popular year, most prolific series, stuff like that. So that is starting to sprinkle in there as well. So my work, even though like I have all the listing done so far, it is not done. I still have a little bit more to do before it'll be to a place I want like it. I know it actually got spread on Discord a little bit too, I saw.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I told you about that.
You did. You told me about that, and I saw it in a couple places. So that was pretty fun. And it was nice to share that. I hope that it introduces people to some titles that they weren't aware of.
Yeah.
That would be something. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I went and tried to be as definitive as possible for that very reason. So, hopefully, if you haven't already, you'll check it out. But I think it's a pretty good list for anybody, whether you're a hardcore fan or if you're just getting into it.
You did happen to find some titles that, like, no one, not a soul, knows about. So it's a pretty good list.
That was the goal, was to, like, how many movies can I find that nobody has ever seen? And I actually did find a couple, which I've learned more about since I made the list, because I can't just stop at finding a synopsis and calling it good. I gotta learn more. And I have been learning more. But that is not why we are here. We're not here for my Blu-ray news. We're not here for your production news. We're here to recap and re-celebrate the largest and greatest holiday in the world. My birthday.
No. You don't even like celebrating that.
Then what are we celebrating, Rex?
I don't know, man. I thought we were doing a Red versus Blue rewatch here. That's what I'm in the middle of. That's so sad. You wouldn't know what Red versus Blue is.
No. And you can't steal my joke. It's my joke.
No, I'm not even joking here. I actually think it's so sad you don't know what Red versus Blue. That is like such classic internet.
No.
That is pre-YouTube internet, bro.
The topic.
Yap. A big yapper here, this guy.
I am the host, but you've been talking more than I have, so.
God forbid I want to yap. Jeez.
Go to bed soon.
Yap. Yeah, I don't know what holiday, man. What could you possibly be talking about?
Well, it takes place on November 3rd.
What the hell happens on November 3rd?
I don't know. Let's go back 71 years. What happened November 3rd of 1954?
I don't know.
Think about cinema. November 3rd of
came out in that same year.
November 3rd of 1954. Japan.
I think Lemon Holiday was the year before that?
No. Japan. Giant monsters. Black and white.
What's black and white? I only know color movies.
This is not real. You're not real. None of this is actually supposed to be real. And you're just dreaming it up. Godzilla Day. We are recapping and re-celebrating Godzilla Day.
What the hell is a Godzilla?
So we're going to start this off by tackling the merchandise. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to read off from my handy list
That's
piece
so
of
good
merchandise.
because I'm not American, so I only know some of the merchandise.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the American merchandise. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it off. And Rex, you're going to give me on a scale of 1 to 5 the likelihood of you and I together buying this item. And then you're going to give us a one-word response. You're going to give us a one-word response for why you said that. Are you ready?
Okay.
So to start off Godzilla Day, the merchandise that was announced, first of all, there was a collaboration between C4 Energy Drinks and Godzilla for a new energy drink that will become what I drink on the podcast nonstop when we record. Sour Blue Razilla. Jackson, give us a number. 1 to 5. 0 to 5.
2. Wait. 2. Wait. I forgot what the system was. Was 5 not
5 most likely. Most likely.
Oh, my bad. Okay, like 4.
One word answer why.
Jim.
I was hoping you're going to say caffeine.
That too.
Okay. The next one. Cavity Colors announced their Zilla 98 plus 2004 apparel line. We have a hoodie, a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and a tie-dye shirt.
0.
And the one-word response?
Graphic shirt. But before we move on, same difference. But before we move on from that, did you see that interesting thing that Cavity Colors mentioned? Like, you know how the 98 themed shirt is like it's like orange?
Yes.
Apparently they can't use green for Zilla anymore.
Correct.
Which is fun. That's interesting.
It was Prime 1. Prime 1 used green for Zilla.
It was Spiral. Yeah.
Oh, Spiral. Okay.
For their Zilla figure.
And they were fine with that. So it's weird because in Japan, they can do Godzilla, like Godzilla with the green for that design. Perfectly fine. But the moment you go outside of Japan, it gets really dicey. It's Sony time. So Spiral had some loopholes. Cavity Colors. The fact they called it Zilla 98 plus 2004 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, the fact they got away with calling it 90, with mentioning 98 is kind of crazy.
And
I don't even think there is a 2004 shirt.
No, it's just 98.
That's funny.
So I am going to skip over one of the things here because this is like a two-parter merchandise thing. One was for the Japanese, the other was American. Toho announced the Giant Condor shirt. Instantly died. Hold on, I gotta find the.
Appeared briefly, died instantly,
loved eternally. I think it's loved eternally. Yeah,
one or the other. I'd give it a 3.
Okay, and the one-word response?
Condor.
Good answer. I actually kind of agree with that because I'm thinking about getting it just because of how stupid it is.
It is kind of one of those things where it's so stupid. It is like mildly amusing.
Imagine if you and I did a panel on Ibra for its 50th anniversary and just wore matching Giant Condor shirts.
I think it's a little amusing. The only thing is it's amusing enough where it's also like, I feel like a bunch of people are going to buy it because, Giant Condor. And so it's going to be, it's like slightly less funny because of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, it could be a real novelty or it could be ruined. And it's one of the two.
Exactly. It depends on how many people buy it and how annoying it is.
But if we do an Ibra panel at G-Fest next year, we should absolutely get matching t-shirts. Maybe we buy 2 more and just tell the panelists to put it on, and we're all going to be Giant Condor stands.
We are the people making it annoying, you.
Dang, I fell right into its trap. Next up, Godzilla X Kaiju number 8 t-shirt, bag, and poster. Now, I believe the artwork they used for this is older. Like, I'm pretty sure it was revealed prior.
Mahiro Maeda. That's the artist.
Okay. And, but it was revealed to be on some merchandise for the first time.
Finally, I guess. It took them a while to do something with that collab, I guess.
Ranking?
0.
One-word response?
Kaiju number 8 is mid.
I would have just said anime and been okay with that.
I don't dislike anime.
Fair enough. The Godzilla Chomp figure by Abominable Toys. It's designed by Tom Wayland. It's silver. It's actually like a character
You're actually
wearing...
just saying things that I don't know what they are. I did not see these things at all.
Okay, so it's a character. I don't know the character's name. It's wearing a Godzilla skin. It's silver, and Tom Wayland Tom Whalen, the guy who did the comic book art for some of the Godzilla covers and did the Power Rangers stuff before Hasbro said, go screw yourself, Power Rangers. That guy designed it. It's by a company called Abominable Toys. It looks horrible. Actually,
I mean, I like his art.
Hold on.
I like his art. I have no clue what this toy looks like.
Do you remember the Fall Guys Godzilla skin?
Yes.
Okay, it's identical.
Oh, it literally does just look like that. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That looks awful. I'm sorry. I mean, I like the guy's art, but...
So, give us this ranking in the one-word response.
0. Why would I want to buy this?
That's multiple words.
Who cares? One sentence. One sentence. Can we go to one sentence? One word is too little.
No.
Well,
I would have taken ew or awful. The Godzilla store announced Brain Dead, which they're an artist. They do Safubis. Brain Dead Godzilla collaboration.
Godzilla are Brain Dead.
Oh my god. The collaboration includes a hat, a hoodie, a hand towel, 3 different t-shirts, a mug, a glass, and a sticker pack. 1 to 5.
Oh, that figure looks kind of neat. It's so expensive, though. Oh my god.
The figures are cool, but this is all merchant, like apparel and like novel.
Yeah, it doesn't look that great. I'd say like 0. I'm not buying that.
What's the one-word response?
Meh.
Okay. Next up, Deferreal Shin Godzilla Ortho forms 1, 2, and 3 Godzilla store exclusives.
0. Meh.
The X Plus Shin Godzilla Ortho.
0. Ortho.
A Godzilla 2000 statue. I don't think it was X Plus.
Is it the Burning Godzilla one?
No. We'll get to that later. This is a separate one. It might be a reissue. I don't know.
Oh, I have no clue what it is then.
Just say 0 and say price.
True. 0 price. That's a great idea. You make a great point there.
Godzilla Legacy statue. Now, they did a colorized one and a bronze one. It's like this cool statue with like -154.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw that before Godzilla Day. Yeah. Cool idea. Eh.
I actually would have bought it if it wasn't like $3,000.
Is it that expensive? Jeez. Oh, 1,875. Oh, jeez, it is. It's not quite that expensive, but jeez. Yeah, 0 price. And also, I don't like how I don't really like how GMK looks on it. He looks weird.
So we have the Godzilla's Gaze keycap set. This is a part of a line of merchandise I still haven't been able to figure out what it is.
Keycaps
You've already tried to explain it and it didn't work out, so don't worry. Just give the ranking and the one-word response.
Cool, I guess. 0. I would rather spend my money on anything. $85?
That's why I don't get it. I don't know why it's so expensive.
What the hell? Bro, I'll just buy a new keyboard with... I'll just buy a keyboard with that money. Oh my god, bro. What the hell?
Tariffs? Inflation? Previous presidential occupancy?
Jesus Christ. What the hell is next?
COVID?
No, I meant merch.
Oh. The Godzilla -1 movie monster series Autumn Leaf version.
Autumn Leaf.
It's like yellow and orange. and it's like meant to look like autumn leaves that are turning colors.
Oh, is this it? Is it like yellow and
Yep,
green and?
Yep,
it's kind of ugly.
Yep.
It's like it's going for that marmot look, but it's ugly colors.
Yeah.
0. Why?
The EVA production Model 2 Beast G Mode Defereel.
Oh, was that the Ava Unit 2 Godzilla?
Yep.
Definitely.
That's what I said.
Yeah, gotcha. 1. Ava Godzilla kind of neat, but I don't like the design very much.
There's a Godzilla Day 2025 t-shirt with the logo.
Didn't see it.
It says Godzilla
Sounds
Day
boring.
2025.
Oh, I mean, it looks okay. The design's okay. I just would not buy it. 1. It's okay, I guess.
I actually considered it just for the novelty, so close enough.
It's not that bad. It's one of these things where I would slightly consider.
Right.
Which is more than a lot of these things.
Going down the line, I don't know if it's a reissue or what, but a gigantic series Godzilla 1962.
Is that like a reissue? If I could afford it, I would. That's like an actual, like, 2, and reason is price. But I'm actually considering like a the reissue of that GMKX Plus. I'm actually considering that.
There's a Godzilla -1 B at Brick double pack. It's like a 100% scale and a 400% scale.
I have no idea what you are even. Said.
It looks like a rabbit mixed with a Lego and.
Wait! Oh, is it one of those
ugly
things?
mother?
Is it one of those like
those things? Yeah.
Called? Oh, what are they called? Are they
the
like
company is B and then the at symbol and RBRICK. I don't know how to pronounce it.
RIC. B at
BE at RBRICK. Bear Brick? Is it supposed to be Bear Brick?
Those things. Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. Yeah, those things.
Gross.
They're like Labubus, but more expensive.
Don't mention Labubus on this podcast. I can't get away from Labubu. I didn't know what Labubus were, and I asked my girlfriend, "What's a Labubu?" And ever since I said, "What's a Labubu?" I've heard Labubu every single day of my entire life. I've seen Labubu. I've had Labubu reels on Instagram and Facebook. Labubu shown up on X.
Are you going to get a KSI Labubu?
Labubu's been at Walmart. Labubu has been everywhere.
So, I'm going to say 0, and my reason is Labubu. What about you? Would you get this?
So, the Godzilla store also announced the JXSDF apparel line with the jersey, 2 different types of t-shirts, a jacket, and a hoodie.
That's cool. 2.
I'll put it on the wait list with the Kiryu hat that everybody has now.
I would consider getting the Kiryu hat, but the problem is everyone has the goddamn Kiryu hat.
Yep, that's why I don't want it anymore. I used to want it, but I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing that holds me from getting it. It's like everyone has it, so I'm like, boring.
And that's what's going to happen here, because everybody loves the Kiryu saga.
I mean, valid, but like...
Oh, this is my favorite one. Death by Watermelon Godzilla Hot Sauce. Limited to 50. 50. So, will you buy a $30 bottle that's like tiny of hot sauce because it's Death by Watermelon and it's Godzilla? 0 to 5.
0. Who? Why? Where?
Huh?
Moving into Super 7. Super 7 announced quite a few. So lightning round, Super 7. I'm going to say what it is. You're going to give the ranking, and then you're going to give a reason why. One word, and then we're going to move on. Quick, you ready? It's lightning round.
Okay.
It's got to be quick. Okay, you warmed up? You ready?
Okay.
Godzilla 2003 Ultimates.
1 Frank.
Shin Godzilla Ultimates.
0 Binate. Wait, do you actually know about that?
No what?
Do you know? Oh, the Shin Godzilla. Do you know where they stole a 3D model?
Oh, did
for
they?
That? They stole a fan model for that.
Tracks.
Because that's Binate's model. It's ripped like 1-to-1, except they for some reason deleted like some of the dorsal fins.
Nice.
It's like the most common like Shin Godzilla model online, and they just stole it and didn't give him any credit.
It's okay. The Ultimates line is like continuously horrible.
Oh yeah, it looks. They made a good model look bad.
I have 2 of them, and that's
what is up with that 2002 Godzilla. What is up with his face?
He looks like he just got Looney Tuned. Like he ran into a building and just.
He looks like the ruler of Earth. He looks more like rulers of Earth than he actually is 2002 Godzilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even in the color scheme.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't much of a lightning round.
No,
Kiryu 0.
No, I didn't get there. Kiryu Ultimates
0.
And finally, Super Godzilla Space Godzilla Ultimates
1 Super.
Okay, on that one, what really pisses me off is it's literally a repaint. Like, they didn't even go the movie Monster series way and, like, resculpt some of it to make it look like Super Godzilla. They just repainted Space Godzilla and slapped the Super Godzilla name
it's
on
a bit lazy.
It's very lazy.
It's a bit lazy. It's cheap, but it's Super 7, so what do you expect?
And then I believe Super 7 also did these. The Godzilla Skeleton Bubbler to put in your fish tank. To bubble.
What?
A bubbler. It's you put it in your fish tank and it bubbles.
Naturally. It's what I wanted all my life.
0 to 5.
0. Why?
And then probably the craziest thing they could have done for a bubbler that's really tone deaf. A Dr. Serizawa bubbler.
What? Wait, I need to look this up. Wait, no, that can't be real, bro. You're making that up. What the hell? What is this? Oh, hell yeah. Let me just get this bubbler based on... Oh, God.
Actually, correction, this is Paragon Effect. So the same... They're the ones doing the 1-to-1 scale.
So like,
oxygen destroyer.
Next? What's next? A Daigo Fukuyu Maru bubbler? When are we getting that? Am I getting an atom? Am I getting a Hiroshima bubbler? Like the Fat Man bubbler, little boy? You know what I mean? When's that coming?
Oh my God.
When's that coming? I mean,
it's $55.
Yeah, that is 85 Australian dollars. That is insane.
That is insane for probably the most tone deaf piece of merchandise you could have done. Honestly, maybe a 5,
it's
just to say I'm crazy.
It's kind of a free. I can't lie. If it wasn't for the price and the fact I don't have a fish tank,
I'd buy fish for it. I'd drop another $200 just to use it.
Yeah. I'll get back to having pet fish again.
And that, besides what was announced in Japan, which we will go over separately, is what was announced in America.
How horrible.
I'm pretty sure you averaged about 2 stars.
Damn, that's a really good year.
Yeah.
I'm shocked it wasn't all 1 stars.
I know. So besides that, Alamo Drafthouse did show The Return of Godzilla at its theaters on Godzilla Day. And the day prior, they did a mystery Godzilla showing, which included Godzilla vs. Megalon, Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. Anime Jungle also did a pop-up store in San Francisco with a Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla Final War screening that took place on November 1st. November 1st. The pop-up store will be going through November 23rd. However, at the screening, they had suit maker Shinichi Wakasa there to do a Q&A. Now, I want you to think about something. He was in America November 1st. November 1st in Japan, talking about American November 1st, is November 2nd. And he flew back and immediately went to a panel on Godzilla vs. Destroya for 45 minutes. It's probably why he was wearing that graphic t-shirt.
That's brutal.
Now, before we dive into the Japanese side of Godzilla Day, I do need to ask you what you did for Godzilla Day.
Jet lag fears Wakasa.
What did you do on Godzilla Day? Because that's normally how we start things off. However, I suspect both of us will have unfortunate answers this year.
Hey, well, the day before, I watched Mothra vs. Godzilla with my housemate.
That counts.
Yeah. It's probably the most I've enjoyed that movie in years. It was actually quite good. Yeah. I don't have a lot to say on it. I just thought it was quite good, better than I remembered. Last Act still has some issues, obviously, but other than that, it's a good movie.
Okay.
Better than King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Dang. Speaking of which, it's funny you bring that up. For my Godzilla Day, I actually worked mostly on Visual Bandits, but I did watch King Kong vs. Godzilla with my girlfriend. It is now her 10th Godzilla movie she's watched. So we're moving right along in the franchise. So besides that, I ended up watching the Godzilla Day stream for its entirety besides the last 30 minutes because I decided to go to bed. So
no one watches the Izakaya Godzilla. It's fine. No English fan anyways.
With that being said, I bring that up now because now we are transitioning into the Japanese side of the Godzilla Day, which was all on a stream. We're going to start off by talking about the merchandise to keep it consistent, and then we're going to talk about the big news to come out of the event. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up before we dive into that?
It was truly, I never want to work Godzilla Day ever again. I'm never doing that again. I wanted to die. That was
I told you to take it off.
That was a horrible shift, and I was actually because of how bad that shift was, I was actually mentally dreading the shift I had on Wednesday. Thankfully, it was so much better, but oh my god, I was mentally dreading it. Ugh. So bad. So bad on Monday. I actually wanted to die.
Fair enough.
But the call after we did was fun.
It was very fun. We had ourselves and Jack, or G-Man, on as well, and we chatted it up.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, let's get into the news there.
So, in terms of merchandise from the Japanese side, they announced a silver and gold Godzilla -1 statue. Both are 6 inches tall. Nothing too crazy. Do you want to keep up with the whole ranking here?
0. Well, I just want the one with the Academy one with the tie.
Quite literally, that's if they made a golden Godzilla with a bow tie, I'd buy it.
The tie, come on, it's obvious. Just give us the tie.
There was 2 variants of a Fest Godzilla t-shirt with the posters on it, and 2 posters of the posters for
very
Fest
cool.
Ranking.
0.
Reason?
Why would I buy it?
They announced a Burning Godzilla plushie on the stream.
Very cool. 0. Why? I feel like there's going to be a lot of zeros and Ys because I don't
know. I think this next one you're going to do a 5. I think you're going to do a 5 on this one.
Oh,
the Chibi Godzilla Passport.
Oh, 5. I was not familiar with your game, but I did see this thing and I need it now.
The Fest Godzilla 2000 X Plus.
Oh, the Burning Godzilla one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2. It's cool.
How about the Goji Burst Godzilla 2000 Burning?
5. Neck.
The Godzilla from Galaxy Odyssey X Plus.
2. Need to see it.
Godzilla the Ride. Godzilla the Ride Great Clash SH Monster Arts.
Oh, actually, this one's actually pretty unironic. A free. It's actually kind of tempting because I think it's the best looking -1.
Inspired.
Giving him lighter dorsal plates, even though it's pretty subtle. From what I can tell, it's pretty subtle. I think giving -1 lighter dorsal plates is borderline perfects that design.
I agree. Fest Godzilla, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, and Godzilla Tokyo SOS gaming cards.
What?
They announced cards inspired by those 3 things.
What do you mean gaming cards?
Cards, trading cards. You made the joke earlier. You're going to collect them all.
Oh, those kind of trading cards. Okay. 0. I mean 5, sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
I was about to say you can't be a hypocrite.
Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me all of them. 5.
Goji Burst Space Godzilla Plasma version.
0, but I actually think the concept design is kind of neat.
So I don't know if this is an announcement or not, but there was a whole thing about like if you buy a box set with all the Goji Bursts in it, you get a new Godzilla Goji Burst, which is like all red and orange.
That's
Kinda
so
like
cool.
That one
is he going to be
exclusive.
AI generated?
Maybe. Maybe AI designed him. Let's hear your ranking in one word.
Oh, now it's a -5?
Okay. The Hobby Japan Firefighter Kiryu model kit.
2. The model kit is good.
Okay.
It's a good model kit.
Godzilla Store Daiba exclusive Safubi, which includes Godzilla 1965 doing a Shea pose, Space Godzilla, Hedorah, and Baby Godzilla.
The Godzilla Store Waddy Daiba
exclusive Safubi.
Right. Okay.
0 to 5.
I don't know what they look like, so 0 exclusive.
Yeah, they're not grand. That actually transitions into the first non-merchandise piece of news. Is they announced 2 new.
Those.
Yes, those.
I mean, I already have like the normal version of the 65. It's actually not too bad. I got it in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, that's why those looked familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
So that actually transitions into the first piece of non-merch news. Is they announced 2 more Godzilla stores in Japan, Godzilla Store Daiba and Godzilla Store Shibuya. This means there are 6 Godzilla stores in Japan now, plus the occasional pop-up one in America. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
I'd like to see them actually expand over to America. I don't know how they would.
Yeah, Australia, you know.
That'd be
cool.
You know what would be cool is if they got the new Godzilla Hello Kitty crossover merchandise to Australia. That's what you guys need.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing was announced. Nothing was announced, but they said there was a new crossover between Godzilla and Hello Kitty, similar to their Godzilla and Digimon crossover. They didn't announce anything. They just said there's stuff coming, as far as I'm aware.
They tease like new stuff. They teased like a new Digimon game thingy McBobby. That's kind of it. They showed like the Defa-Real Kiryu Greymon thing. I think it's Greymon. I don't know. I don't know Digimon outside of War Greymon and Greymon. That's it.
But outside of that, there was the announcement of a Godzilla exhibit at the Science Museum, which was actually a location used for Shin Godzilla, where they're going to be showcasing the history of Godzilla, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah. Neat, I guess. Could be.
It would be cool to visit. I just don't think I'm going to be in Japan for that, unfortunately.
Of course.
Now, I realize there is one piece of merch I haven't brought up yet, and that's because everybody, of course, wants to hear our thoughts on the greatest Bandai to come out of Bandai in the history of Bandai, and quite frankly, the world. There's nothing greater than it. And that is the movie monster series, Giant Condor. 100 out of 5.
See,
peak.
It would be a 5, but it's the same problem as the t-shirt. Because everyone's buying it and everyone's in on the joke. It's like, damn. Now the joke sucks.
I will probably buy the Bandai. I probably will.
I mean, it is neat that there is a Giant Condor or movie monster series, and it is entirely the fault of Americans. And it is also really funny that they did not do a movie monster series vote this year. Wonder why.
That is true. That's very true. Hey, it's sold out at the event, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Which also, this was the highest attended Godzilla or Fest Godzilla with over 30,000
Wasn't it 30,000, 37, something like that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's pretty cool. Besides that, I did hint earlier about video games, and you were like, there's no news. There is a little bit of news. Godzilla Battle Line, the mobile game, announced a couple new characters. They announced the Arai poster version of Mechagodzilla, the Godzilla the Ride Great Clash Mechagodzilla, Godzilla from Galaxy Odyssey, the manga, and Volga from Galaxy Odyssey. Volga.
But they also announced during this a monster that has not appeared in the manga yet, but will be, named Garudora.
Which is kind of like a proto-Volga.
I would say a flying Volga, but Volga already can fly. But yeah.
A flying Hedera version of
Volga. Sure. Yeah. Something like that.
I'm fully expecting this manga to get turned into an anime.
That would be cool. I don't necessarily think that. I mean, I don't know. Probably not, but it'd be cool if it did. It's not really that popular, as far as I'm aware.
True. I'm surprised they haven't tried to do like any English translations. They have the English logo. And they were like they had that motion comic advertisement throughout the Fest Godzilla stream, but they just didn't touch it.
I mean, they didn't even give the manga like a proper like announcement. It was just like when it got announced, it was like last year, it was just like an ad that played a handful of times at the Godzilla Fest, and then that was kind of it for like months. I think there was like a Twitter, but it was like they barely promoted that at all. That was only like mentioned a little bit in the ad, and that was kind of it. And then it was like radio silence until like a month before the first issue or something.
Now, you did mention the AR, Godzilla AR at the Tokyo Dome, which reuses the gemstone design. It's expected to be released in mid-December, which I didn't realize that based off they did have an advertisement for it. I was shocked by that release date. And they did say, guess what? There's merchandise of it coming. The teaser looks terrible. Did you go back and actually watch it?
It's AR, so it's like, yeah, you showed it to me or something, I don't remember. But it's AR, it's cool in theory, can be kind of cool, but I don't think AR is particularly impressive or interesting. It's cooler in concept than it actually is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which
and
is
with
also
that,
what
that's
VR
really
is. It's cooler in concept than it actually is.
Very true. And so with that, we have covered all the merchandise, everything from America, and every other announcement besides 3 major things. And so I think that's where we're going to transition here. If you're ready, we've kind of blown through everything, but it's just a bunch of I don't know. There's not
merch.
Really
it's
a lot
boring
to say
merch.
Yeah,
we're not really the type to buy all the merch. Sadly, shockingly, I don't. I don't feel the compulsion to get Giant Condor when I don't even have a movie monster series in my current... Oh, that's not true. I have Final Wars and that's it.
Felt that.
I only got Final Wars because I was like, I should buy something while I'm at G-Fest.
So shifting gears here, we're going to be talking more about the bigger news that was at the event. Why don't we start with you giving us the breakdown of what many people might consider big news. I don't see it as something astounding, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless.
Talking about the new footage we saw from Godzilla the Ride, Great Clash?
Yes.
Yeah, so during the Godzilla Fest stream, they had a section dedicated to Godzilla the Ride where that YouTuber Gunpei, I think his name is?
Gunpei, yes.
Yeah,
which
Gunpei, Kasai, and a couple other people, them and a couple other people experienced the Great Clash ride, and during which we got to see a little bit new footage from the ride.
Which, real quick, before we dive into the footage, I must say it's really weird how Gunpei started. I never heard of him until Kaiju
Yaro, yeah.
And then I think he shows up in Hot Spring Shark Attack. I just watched that earlier. I think I saw him as an extra.
Oh, that's funny.
And now he's doing this promotional thing for Godzilla to Ride Great Clash. It's like, what? How does this happen?
I think I'd heard of him prior to Kaiju Yaro. I think I'd seen him, but I didn't. But yeah, now he's been decently prevalent. A little bit. We got a whole... I saw a letterboxed review for the Godzilla Fest short that we'll talk about later. That's I had to sit through a whole stream of them fat-shaming Gunpei.
That's... Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Which is so real, because that actually happened on this stream. 30 minutes prior. But, anyways, that's neither here nor there.
That is how it starts. So you're not wrong. I mean, the footage starts with Gunpei being 5 kilos too heavy to even...
Yes, that's right. That's what the context for it was. Oh my god.
Yeah, so then they had to he had to work it off to even be on the ride.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we first got hints of the Gunpei stuff because him and his cohort appeared throughout the entirety of the stream in little advertisements for the Fest Godzilla 2 Shinjuku Burning short.
Yeah.
They actually visited the set.
As did 2 other notable people.
Do we want to bring that up here, since that's actually kind of a good point in time to bring that up?
I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, surprise, surprise, both Gareth Edwards and Takashi Yamazaki showed up to the set, which is pretty cool.
And I want to say Tomu Haraguchi was there as well.
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that part. I understood the other two.
No, it was Wakasa. It was Shinichi Wakasa. That's who it was.
Well, Wakasa worked on the suit, so that's no surprise.
But it's still cool. You have Yamazaki, Wakasa, and Edwards all in one room together.
All in one room together? Yeah. Okay, fair point. I see it. Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. That was something they were playing across the stream. But yeah, no, new Godzilla the Ride footage. There's not really too much to it. It's just more extended looks at like the vehicles that the audience is like playing it. I don't know how do you what that like.
Yeah, it was so a lot of it
experiencing it in, I guess.
Yeah. So it was more of the footage from the fight, a little bit more Godzilla, a little bit more Mechagodzilla, that people who are sitting in those seats experience. Which I guess it hasn't even come out yet.
No. It has, yes.
Okay.
It has.
Well,
it came out like a month or two ago, I think.
Because that was something that I was a little confused about because, I mean, the first one got leaked, like all of it. It's like 30 minutes long. And this one...
It's not even that. It's only like 15.
Yeah. This one, like, we had the trailer and now we have this, and this is probably the most of it we have.
Yeah. Which is kind of surprising.
Not a lot happens, if I remember correctly. Like, it's primarily just Godzilla swimming and Mechagodzilla being launched. If I remember correctly.
In this footage, they also have like a beam clash and whatnot. They kind of censor it in the video to not, quote unquote, spoil things, but I've already seen images of scarred Godzilla from it.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh, I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's just his face is like burning red. They showed it on the stream. I can send you the image.
Okay.
You definitely would have seen it though.
Maybe I had checked out by that time.
You definitely saw it. Because it's just like he's got some like red, like just some burns on his face. It's similar to like when in the beam clash again in like Godzilla vs. Kong. Like the same sort of scarring that appears after Mechagodzilla wins that clash.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the whole idea of the Godzilla the Ride stuff like emulating like I could have swore I heard that the original Godzilla the Ride was based on the fact they couldn't use the legendary designs. And so they had Yamazaki.
See, I've heard people say that, but I have no idea if that's actually true or if that's just something people assumed and are like just taking as fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because for anybody who's not aware, I heard this. God, when did Godzilla the Ride came out? Like 7 years ago.
2021. 7 years. No.
Was it?
No, it was not that long. It was like 21 or 22. Yeah, 21.
5?
Like the year before -1 was announced.
Okay.
Yeah, 2021 it came out. Yeah.
Okay. So I was still watching Godzilla YouTube at the time, and I distinctly remember D-Man mentioning the reason behind it was Toho wasn't allowed to use the likeness of the legendary monster designs, and so they created designs that are similar but still distinctly
See, that doesn't
different.
make sense because here's the thing with Godzilla the Ride as well is so obviously like with Yamazaki's Godzilla they're known for Yamazaki loves the Showa era. But like the theme park that Godzilla the Ride is attached to, the Seibuen amusement park is a Showa themed amusement park, or at least the area that Godzilla the Ride is in the Showa themed area.
Okay.
So Well, I don't doubt there's probably a little bit of MonsterVerse influence in like the Rodan and even maybe Ghidorah's designs. And, people have talked about how the -1 and Ride Godzilla designs maybe take a bit of influence in like the legendary feat. I don't seriously believe that rumor has any truth to it until someone can point to any actual evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know some people were talking about how some of the choreography from this ride looks similar to the GVK final fight between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. But also, it's like we've seen like 2 bits of them fighting. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like Mechagodzilla, like grappling Godzilla and then throwing him around isn't exactly the most original of choreography. I feel like Mechagodzilla throwing him around and then having a beam clash is... I see what you're saying, but it's like, come on, guys. we're still kind of grasping at straws here.
So the Mechagodzilla design, I don't know if we haven't talked about it, but to me, it screams Ready Player One mixed with MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla with the ugly Yamazaki spin. Because he did that with both Rodan and Ghidorah as well.
Yeah. Yamazaki, please stop designing enemy monsters. Please get someone else to design them for you. Yeah, he doesn't look great. To be fair, I feel like most of the images from the actual like ride itself make him look like that first main reveal image in particular makes him look even way worse than he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I think the statue looks a bit better, but it's still not my thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of it.
Yeah, to me it just looks like three or four different types of designs just coming together, and they don't quite mix.
Right.
And it's too just like generic robot taking a Godzilla shape rather than Mechagodzilla for me.
Yeah, especially in the head. The head is
genuinely
where I really struggle.
I genuinely think missing the head fins on a Mechagodzilla design is an easy way to kill it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like to be that guy where it's like, oh, this one niche part of the design is what ruins it. But genuinely, I think for Mechagodzilla, it kind of is.
Mm-hmm. It looks a lot to me, and I could be wrong just because like I don't do video games, but it looks like generic dinosaur robot from Metal Gear Solid cosplaying as Mechagodzilla.
Actually, the design style, it doesn't remind me of Metal Gear Solid, but it reminds me of the style of this game called Mecha Break. That's what it kind of reminds me of. In like his legs in particular, his legs and his chest look like I think it's the Stego robot from Mecha Break. Maybe not the Stego, sorry, but there's one in Mecha Break that has similar looking legs. But anyways, you don't know what they look like, so it's fine. Yeah. One thing I will praise though about this new footage is the music in it, presumably by Naoki Sato, is amazing, and I want it. There's like in the last 20-ish seconds of the new footage, like there's just this beautiful bit that I swear was in some of the marketing for Godzilla -1. But it's not actually in -1. But I want to say it was in the behind the scenes number 30 TV special that they did. And I really want to hear that full track because it's beautiful. It's actually beautiful.
Now, was there anything else that they had tackled in the footage that we haven't really covered yet?
I don't know. There's a funny shot of Mechagodzilla like floating down. That's kind of it. There's not a lot here. Half of the section is just the reactions of Gunpei and group.
Right. And then Gunpei like gained the weight back at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It started.
They had to shame him.
God, that's funny. Now, transitioning gears, we have both a Godzilla Day announcement and a little inside information ? I don't know. So they had a 30-ish minute panel on the 30th anniversary of Godzilla vs. Destroya. In attendance, they had Shinichi Wakasa, Shogo Toyama, the producer of Godzilla vs. Destroya, and then you had Takeo Okiwara, director of it. They sat and talked about the film. They name-dropped Gunhead. They didn't name-drop Gunhead. That was the actor from Mechagodzilla 2 name-dropped Gunhead. They name-dropped Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla, and they actually acknowledged it. They talked about some of the behind-the-scenes of the film and just their fond memories of the movie. And towards the end of their panel, they announced and showcased a little promotional video of a brand new 4K restoration of Godzilla vs. Destroya, now in production, slated with a 2026 theatrical showing at the Shinjuku Toho Cinema, which has been nicknamed the Godzilla Theater. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that was expected. I'm surprised that was the only 4K announcement at the festival.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it to be that. I was expecting way more than just one 4K announcement, considering last year we had 5. Now, we did see a little bit of footage. It was it was footage of a screen, so it wasn't the greatest. But I'm pretty excited. I know Destroy is not very high on your list, but I always appreciate getting the news of new 4K restorations of this stuff, because it means that, we're getting closer to all of these movies being in 4K somewhere in the world.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't seen the footage for this new 4K. I don't know. Toho, Godzilla, and 4K don't have the best track record transfer-wise. I'm not an expert on that stuff by any means.
I want to say
not
a
lot of them look best.
The biggest issue with the Toho restorations is mostly color correction.
Yeah,
it's not even
color-wise.
The restoration. I know some of the restorations people say the denoising's sucky or something.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of denoising on quite a few of those 4Ks. Yes, that is very true.
But that's the biggest thing they do.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is it just makes everyone look like wax. And then they'll add and then they might add on the 54 4K, they add a fake layer of grain.
Right. So that was announced. That's pretty cool. That means that in the Heisei era, what's announced is Godzilla 1984, Biollante, King Ghidorah, and Destroya, leaving Mothra. Oh, and Mechagodzilla 2, leaving Mothra and Space Godzilla. I recently saw a post from somebody saying that they had seen the 4K restoration of Godzilla vs. Mothra, 1992. And I was like, what? They were talking about the Destroya restoration as well. So I did some digging, and I actually found a Japanese source that had reported going to Toho, the headquarters of Toho, and reviewing, because they were involved in the original production, reviewing the footage for both Godzilla vs. Destroya and Godzilla vs. Mothra. But since then, they have edited that post to completely omit everything related to Mothra.
Oopsie. Someone made an oopsie.
I don't know if that means that, like, that's not true. It wasn't the 4K. I feel like I'm grasping at straws for it to be that, and not just the simple fact that there is a 4K for... I mean, it makes sense. Mothra 92 is quite literally like the third or fourth highest grossing Godzilla film.
Yeah, it was pretty
in
popular.
The franchise. I think it won a couple Japanese Academy Awards, if I remember correctly.
I think it was just effects. I think that's what it got.
I think so. It was either that or it was also like newcomer of the year. Like it wasn't like best
maybe
picture.
Maybe that too. But
it wasn't best picture.
Those two like awards weren't too uncommon for any of the Heisei movies.
It was the simple fact that like it won those, and it was like one or two in terms of highest grossing live action films for the year. So it did considerably well. I'm shocked it took them this long because it's got, of course, like its accolades, its box office performance, the fact it's got Mothra in it. I'm really shocked.
The fact we currently only have one of the Millennium movies on 4K is crazy.
Right, because with this, that leaves Godzilla versus Space Godzilla and the Heisei era's rest like completely done. Then you have Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, the G-Annihilation Strategy, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Which is crazy. I'm kind of surprised that specifically the Kiryu saga...
GMK and the Kaiju saga have not been touched. I think that's really shocking.
I think we're going to get GMK next year as an announcement.
Probably for the 25th. Anniversary.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. But then again, it's not like we got a Megaguirus 4K.
True. Also, I've been saying that Ibra didn't have a 4K, but I guess they quietly just did a 4K showing of it earlier this year.
Oh, yeah. Don't you remember that? It got announced like a little bit back.
I didn't remember that. So that means all of the Showa era is restored. And now all the 80s is restored and almost all the 90s. There's 2 movies left. I'm going to be curious what ends up being the last film. Like what movie... I have a bet. There's 2 that I'm willing to bet end up being one of the last ones.
Are you going to say like Megaguirus?
It'll be either Megaguirus or Space Godzilla that will end up being the last films to be restored.
I think it'll be Megaguirus. I think they'll complete the Heisei era before touching Megaguirus at this rate.
But I definitely could see the Kiryu saga coming next in terms of announcements. Maybe GMK.
Megaguirus getting the final 4K, living up to its legacy of being the most boring and forgotten movie in the franchise.
I think it would be hilarious if they ended up treating it like that.
It would be funny. I still can't believe the moment I finished my popcorn at G-Fest, I actually almost fell asleep. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, these 4Ks... mixed bag overall, but I am hopeful, if nothing else, that GMK and the Kiryu saga at least look good.
I'll be curious.
Because GMK needs a new transfer. I've seen the the Sony Blu-ray. I don't own it, but I've seen it. That Sony Blu-ray looks bad. Mm-hmm. Like my DVD, the Madman DVD, it doesn't quite have the actual resolution, but in terms of the actual colors, the Madman DVD is a lot nicer. It's actually got some like vibrance and saturation, and isn't just like a dull brown. That Sony stuff looks really bad. I think even Megaguirus in the theaters, if I remember right, because they were using the Sony Blu-ray, I think. When we saw that, I think that looked pretty bad, if I remember correctly. Destroyer, I know, looked really bad in theaters.
Yeah, that was sourced from the Sony Blu-ray.
Yeah, no, that Destroyer looked bad. It looked bad.
Well, to my understanding, the transfers they used on the Sony Blu-rays, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were the same source as the prints for the DVDs.
Maybe, I don't know. I know that the current Japanese Blu-ray transfer for Destroyer looks very different. I'm not necessarily a fan of the look of that one either, personally, but I don't know if that's actually like closer to the intention of the movie or not. But I don't know. It's very different looking to the Sony transfer or like my DVD. It's a lot colder. If you've seen images, you know exactly what I mean by that. But yeah.
Now, before we dive off into talking about Toho's mishandling of restoring and upholding all of the Toho's
mishandling of their franchise.
They announced the new Kaiju contest, where they allow fans to create Kaiju, submit them for a contest, and then ultimately get voted on. And then from there, the plan is for a merch rollout and then inclusion in a future short film, video game, or movie.
Yeah, which I have a funny feeling is going to tie back into our discussion of Godzilla Fest.
I would agree with that. Now, this isn't the first time Toho's done something like this. They did that back in the 70s with Jet Jaguar, as we're all well aware. And then, of course, like in the 80s and 90s, I think it was 80s and 90s, where they would put on I think 70s as well, where they had people submit stories and they would consider those, and whichever one they wanted to get produced into a film is what would end up getting the green light. So yeah, Toho has done fan contests
Biollante,
before.
Essentially,
Biollante, yeah,
in that same category, because that was from a Tokusatsu scholar that submitted the that storyline.
You mean the Return of Ultraman episode 14 script?
Yeah, same guy.
Same cinematography, same monster design, same storyline.
Hey, to be fair, I think when he submitted it, it was different for Biollante. It was like rats or something like that. I don't remember.
But regardless, I'll be excited to see what happens of that. I do agree with what you said, how it ties into the next topic we're going to be discussing. And unless you have anything you really want to bring up here, we could go ahead and dive into that.
Yeah, I think there isn't too much else to say on that.
Yeah. So in a Fest Godzilla tradition, they are continuing on their Tokusatsu short films. This is now the 6th one, correct?
Yes.
They had the first one, which was like a minute long, and it was just like filming Tokusatsu, and then we saw the behind the scenes of that. And then, of course, we had
Godzilla vs. Hedorah.
It was Hedorah, and then Godzilla vs. Gigan, and then Jet Jaguar, and then Giant Monster Showdown, which included King Ghidorah. And then that is effectively concluded that storyline. The funny thing is, if you were to edit those all together, you would actually have a movie. Toho could put out another Godzilla movie edited together from all 4 of those shorts.
They've done that before with Godziban.
They have.
They've done that.
And so now they are rebooting their Fest Godzilla shorts with Fest Godzilla 2 Shinjuku Burning. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break down. It's less than 8 minutes. It's not very long. what we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about it. We're going to have it playing in front of us. We're going to point out stuff and talk about it. And then the new kaiju contest that we just talked about will come back around at the very end. Rex, a lot of people are saying that this short is not good.
I feel like the reception has been mostly positive around it, actually, from what I've seen.
I've heard people say it's boring. I've heard people say the lack of another kaiju sucks. People have mentioned a billboard.
I was going to mention the billboard.
I have seen quite a few people, like, they do a good job. This opening, like, the compositing of the real people with the miniatures is well done. The cinematography and lighting, I really enjoy. This is actually some of my favorite in terms of these tokusatsu short films.
Yeah.
And one thing that I found really interesting, and we'll continue to talk about it, is the fact that, and I both like it and I dislike it, it's the fact that they don't have a consistency on whether they want it to be a single take or not, because they do. It's cool, but then they end up giving up on it at the very end for like the last 2 minutes.
I don't really have a problem with that. Yeah, I see the billboards here. There's a bit of debate around whether or not they're AI. I didn't think so initially, but looking at them here, yeah, I think they might be AI, which sucks. Unfortunately, it's not the first time there has been AI in Godzilla media. The Bandai's Godziburst like promo videos have AI generated backgrounds, and in the promotional material for Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, for the Japanese release, there was a song that featured like AI generated imagery in the music video, which sucks because it also had tokusatsu in it too, or at least miniatures.
Yeah. I mean, the Japanese view AI completely different from the way that people in the West generally perceive AI. So there is a little bit of an explanation for it, but that's not me trying to validate it. They just
I know nothing about Japan specific perspective on that topic, but it's just like AI is ill.
Yeah. Now, did you notice that in the buildings, like there's that one dolly shot of like Godzilla walking behind a building, and you see people in the windows and they're like fighting, and then like that's replicated twice. I thought that was it's a small detail, but it's kind of funny that there's just, I imagine it's like a couple arguing.
I'm pretty sure one of them is Gunpei, by the way.
That's funny.
Godzilla meeting the head. That is actually a really fun moment. I think it'd be a little more fun if it was like a Heisei design they were doing that with, but I'm not complaining either way.
Right. Godzilla, I mean, they do have the Heisei suit.
Yeah. They get, and it's like, I don't know, that's such a perfect like Godzilla moment, like personality-wise too. That's exactly how I'd imagine Godzilla reacting to it too.
Right. That's probably easily the most iconic sequence in the short as well, I think.
It's definitely the best moment in it. But right here, they're about to have a really impressive like explosion here as well.
See,
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. The pyrotechnics in this I was really impressed with. That's all part of, like, as we talk more and more about, like, the look at this short, it's just there's a lot of visuals that look really well done.
I do wish for, like, a short film that is essentially dedicated to Godzilla just going on a rampage. I do kind of wish we really could get Godzilla being more physical with the buildings. I get there's budgetary concerns around that, I'm sure. That's why a lot of kaiju, especially modern kaiju stuff, we don't tend to see monsters actually physically destroying the buildings the same way you would see it in, like, a Showa or a Heisei movie. But it is a disappointing trend in more modern stuff.
Yeah. Now, we get the reveal of Burning Godzilla, which is actually practical, which is really cool. But then we get a character who I don't understand, like, the inclusion of him. I'm assuming he'll be more important.
Yeah, they were really advertising the actor here, but he ends up not contributing much at all.
All he does is basically say, wow, and then he sees some lights, and then he turns around and says, like, what's that monster? And we get just this ambient smoke cloud with
silhouette and some, like, vague, like, tail and, like, noises and whatnot. Very ambiguous on what the monster is.
And then we get Godzilla roaring, and that's the end. That's the title card. So you brought up the new kaiju contest might be involved with this short film. I want you to go ahead and explain that.
Well, yeah, as we just said, the kaiju here, the enemy monster here, they kind of, in the lead up, they were like, ooh, who's going to be the enemy monster? Is there going to be an enemy monster in this one? And obviously they tease it at the end, but they don't reveal who it is. It doesn't exactly have any sort of familiar roar. So presumably because of this Shin Kaiju initiative, presumably this short is their first the next short, is going to be their first real usage of that, adding in a new fan-designed kaiju and turning it into a suit for the Millennium Godzilla to fight.
Which I'll be curious, like, how they'll end up doing that, just based off of the simple fact that they're going to have to create a brand new suit.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll pick a design. They'll account for how practical it is to make it in whatever design they choose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's the short, pretty much.
Yeah, then it's just the typical credits. Overall, it's definitely, I don't think, the most memorable of the shorts, but I really ended up enjoying it.
I think it's fine. I don't dislike it. I guess I was just expecting a little bit more out of it, because it was like each year they were kind of getting bigger and bigger and bigger with the short films, whereas this one kind of feels like a bit of a step back.
Mm-hmm. A return to square one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing per se. It's just, the one take is cool, but I just don't find the action here that particularly enticing when it's mostly just Godzilla, like, walking around and shooting at a helicopter every now and again.
Right. It's very Heisei in its effects, if you will.
I like, the kind of to the point I was making earlier, I just wish we could really see Godzilla getting more physical with the buildings again, because you don't
get that a lot of the time in modern Godzilla productions, even in CG productions outside of like -1, -1 really was where he probably got the most like physical with like actually destroying buildings. But like you see the MonsterVerse films in Godzilla's almost never actually like touching anything unless it's like it's usually just collateral in his fights.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really tend to get very many physical Godzilla rampages. We'll get good atomic breath scenes, like that's not to discredit Shin Godzilla's like rampage scenes at all, but it's just not the same. And it's not necessarily bad to be different, but it's just not the same as a lot of the more classic Suitmation rampages. And I feel like if we're gonna bring back Suitmation here and really do these sort of like fan servicey short films, it's like if we're gonna really hone in on that, then at least give us more of the actual goods.
Right.
Again, I get that there's budgetary concerns with that. Like I'm sure a big part of the reason is like with these buildings, they want to recycle these buildings for each of the next shorts and whatnot, because they only have very limited supply of buildings and whatnot. And Toho doesn't tend to like allotting too much money to these short films, but it's still disappointing a bit to me.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I'm still waiting and holding out hope that maybe someday we can get an actual like short length feature film that's more of a return. I mean, there's people who would do it. I just don't know if Toho would ever finally be okay with it.
Yeah. And it's like, don't get me wrong. Overall, I am glad that we ended up getting another Fest Godzilla, since I know you and I didn't really kind of thought that the last one, the Ghidorah one, would be the end of it.
Right.
Since they didn't really say that it was coming back until like a month or two before this one came out.
Right, there was no like crowdfunding, there was no marketing, there was just kind of like...
Yeah, no crowdfunding at all, which is interesting, but not that surprising because the crowdfunding goals went down like each year.
Right.
And they would still fail except for last year's one, because last year's one was by far the smallest.
Yeah. But with that being said, I mean, is there really much else from the Fest Godzilla we can talk about?
Not too much. I hope next time they don't have any more AI. No more AI billboards, please, guys. I beg. I don't like AI in Godzilla. Please.
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, please, God.
No, that's it, right? That's the end of there was nothing else at the festival to really talk about?
Yeah, no, nothing else happened. Nothing big.
Okay. I just wanted to check. I wasn't sure if like you actually saw something else and was like, no, you imbecile.
I was working most of the day, so, I wasn't there for any big announcements that happened at the start.
I told you to take the day off.
I actually had... that was a miserable day, and I actually was dreading work. The 2 days after that, I was dreading my next shift.
Yeah, you should have took your day off.
Yeah, never not doing that again.
Who was right?
My lawyer says I should not answer
amazing friend who always looks out for my best intentions and is just truly the most wonderful and handsome, but mostly wonderful person I've ever met. That person.
My lawyer states I don't have to answer this question if I don't want to.
Sure. Uh-huh. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, nothing else happened. No, what's a minus zero?
What's a what?
A minus zero.
What's that?
I don't know. Sounds like a beer. Like minus 196, the Japanese alcohol,
No.
the Gaijin killer.
No.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't do alcohol. I don't like alcohol.
Man doesn't know the Gaijin killer. Oh, that's so sad.
Alcohol is honestly not that tasteful.
Okay, but the alcohol you had was actually terrible. It was like actual garbage.
I don't buy alcohol. It wasn't. I hadn't bought it. I didn't buy it.
I don't care if you were the one who bought it or not. It was garbage.
And I don't drink it.
You drank it what? It was garbage, bro.
Yeah, I took a sip and I was like, ugh. I don't know what to do to get it out of my refrigerator, by the way.
Bro, that stuff was actually garbage. I've never felt like Heart Attack Central so much in my life.
Well, welcome to America.
Like, that must have been like the sugariest drink I've ever had. That thing was terrible.
The anticipation for the G-Fest bonus now, for anybody listening, must be high.
You do that's not even that exciting of a story. That stuff was just terrible, bro.
So what is minus zero?
Oh, it's like a new movie. I don't know.
Give us the rundown.
Hey, you were there for it. You can give us a rundown.
All right, fine. Godzilla Minus Zero, the official sequel to Godzilla Minus One, written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki, co-produced again by Robot Communications and Toho. Once again, we are continuing on the legacy of the Reiwa era being the only sole era of Godzilla to have purely co-produced films. Sin Bazaar co-produced Shin Godzilla with Toho. And then you had
co-produced too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And then you had Robot for Minus One, and now Robot's returning for Minus Zero. The film has been shooting for quite some time. Takashi Yamazaki is returning as the writer and director. He was not able to attend Fest Godzilla this year, so we instead got a video of him he was filming the day of. If you look, he's on set, and the set's very much late 40s, early 50s.
Right.
Once again, like establishing that period piece. And that was pretty. We got a logo, Godzilla, and then it's the minus sign, and then it's 0.0, I think.
Right.
Or no, it's just minus 0.
Right.
And
the
then
G looks a little bit different this time around.
Yes, the G's a little bit different. Now, the following day, we got the official English logo with the Godzilla Minus Zero written out. We also got the reveal of they're planning on filming in Norway and New Zealand.
Yeah, from a Hollywood Reporter article, they also mentioned the film was aiming for a late 2026 release.
And
then both those pieces of information, they edited out of the article like a few days later.
Right. Which, for anybody who's been listening to this show, I don't know if we've said it, but like it's been on our website, and I definitely have been saying it, late 2026 is the obvious time frame of this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Out. The production is following in line with that pretty close, maybe a little bit later, which is why I don't it'll be late November, early December.
Right,
probably
but also
about a year
Minus
from now.
One finishes production like pretty early, like visual effects wise. It was done like 4 months out from release.
Right. Well, they started on the VFX for this film like 2 months ago or something. That's when they were recruiting for VFX artists. So by all accounts, like, it makes sense. There is no real information out. The biggest thing is we saw in the source code of the extras page, they referenced Rinnosuke Kamiki and Minami Hamabe. And so they'll probably be returning. I don't see why they wouldn't. Clearly, their story still has more to tell. And I believe Yamazaki said that they wanted to bring more international faces into the Minus universe. So that's really all the info we have on the film so far.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to. The way I want it is I want this to take place in the late 40s, early 50s, 1949 to 1951, and then I want a third film called Godzilla Zero or just Godzilla. This is my fan speculation. The third film in this trilogy, it'll only be a trilogy, will be called Godzilla, and it'll be a remake of the original film, and it'll come out probably 2028, 2029. And that'll prevent the Godzilla 54 film from falling into public domain. So that's my theory.
I see. Yeah, I don't have too much of a theory. I just hope that I'm just looking forward to seeing Shikishima and Noriko's story continue.
I want Doc to come back. I need Doc back.
I'd hope he would come back. Really, honestly, the only one I wouldn't see coming back is Tachibana, because I feel like his story actually fully done.
I don't see Tachibana, and I don't see the one military guy.
Oh, what, the Captain Hotta?
Yeah, Captain Hotta. I don't see either of them.
I was even thinking about him coming back, bro. That wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind.
But everybody else, I would definitely. I would agree with, especially with their candid family they've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Trilogy would be cool. I hope if it does end up being a trilogy, Yamazaki don't pull an Always Free on us.
Oh, leave it open-ended and never come back.
No, that was not what I was saying. That's not what I mean when I say Always Free. Always Free is almost a perfect ending. It is almost perfect.
Killing people.
Huh? No, they don't kill anyone in Always Free.
Well, you're going to have to elaborate then.
Oh, it's actually the character who plays Doc in -1. The end to his story absolutely sucks, and I hate it. Because it's it feels kind of counterintuitive to what the movie was setting up. Because he basically kicks his kid out from the first movie. And he basically just the whole thing is about because his character, his father, basically did the same thing to him and discouraged his passion for being a manga author and whatnot, or a writer, something like that. And Doc just repeats the same thing to his kid and doesn't learn anything from it. And it's it's such a frustrating end. Oh, God. The Suzuki
we're going to do a fourth one.
It's great, though. Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't. So they gave the perfect ending to the Suzuki family with God, what's her name, getting married at the end. And then you've just got no. I'm forgetting the actor and the character's name. But they just leave the Doc with just. Oh, it was such a frustrating ending.
You sound very frustrated.
I was genuinely loving the movie up until that last 20 minutes. It was almost perfect.
You need to woo-saw and relieve some of that tension somehow. You need to woo-saw and relieve some of that tension somehow.
What is woo-saw? What crap are you on today?
It's English.
What?
Woosah. Woosah. Woosah.
I think you need professional help.
But that's pretty much all the Godzilla Day news that came out. Obviously, stuff came out after the fact. We've tackled a little bit of that. But there is more. We will absolutely be diving into more as we continue on. I'm so glad we're back in the saddle recording again. I've actually really enjoyed the last 2 hours.
Yeah, this is 1 2-hour uninterrupted recording, yes. Don't know what you're talking about.
But hopefully with this coming out, we'll be diving back in. I don't remember if we mentioned it at the top of the show, but there is a handful of episodes that Rex is actively working on and is going to be getting out sooner rather than later.
Come very soon.
Well, editing's been going smoothly so far, right?
Ish. Praying.
Okay. Well, there's only really one thing I have left to say, Rex. And that is, hello, I'm Elijah and I have a kaiju and tokusatsu problem. Joking aside, I am Elijah Thomas. I am a writer. I've written for GodzillaMovies.com, Kaiju Ramen Magazine, Kaiju United, and my writing has been featured in the book Giant Bug Cinema, A Monster Kid's Guide from Bear Manor Media, where I wrote about Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, along with, as I previously mentioned in this episode, G Cinema, coming from Font Hill Media, written by Daniel DeMano, where I contributed a foreword. I've also been given the privilege to work with my good friends at Giant Monster BS on their second season as a creative consultant covering independent kaiju films. Outside of writing and podcasting, I also served as a consultant on the Titanic Creations Yongori figure. I believe they've sold out. I could be wrong. I know they're reissuing Gorgo, but if you just go to TitanicCreations.com, you can see what is available. I've also had the privilege to produce bonus features for SRS Cinema. I've worked on various titles such as Yuzo, The Biggest Battle in Tokyo, Liverleaf, War of the Ninja Monsters, Jiron vs. Gora, Hoshi 35, and a so much longer list with more coming soon. You can order these Blu-rays or on DVD for most of them on srscinema.com. I'm also a filmmaker and YouTuber. You can check out my stuff on my YouTube channel, ET13 Productions, where you can see some of my short films and my old YouTube videos, along with a playlist that features all of my appearances on YouTube. I will say I am working on a short film it's a segment for an anthology movie called Amityverse Endgame, coming from SRS Cinema. I believe I previously mentioned that as well. And so definitely keep an eye out for that. You can also check out my action figure photography on my Instagram at ET13_productions and my X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, thanks Danny, at the same handle. Now, Rex, where can people find you at?
Well, dear listeners, you can find me on YouTube at Rexina, on Twitter at Rex_Xenomorph, and on Instagram, Rex_Xeno. And damn, I actually remembered it.
Well, there you go. And as always, don't forget to rate us on iTunes. That boosts our ratings and helps us get recommended to more people just like you. If you don't have an Apple device, which I don't blame you, that's a lie. I'm using a MacBook. It says MacBook Pro on the bottom of my screen here. So that's kind of a lie. But you can rate us on Spotify. To stay up to date with all things Kaiju Conversation related, head over to www.kaijuconversation.com to find our episodes, social media, news, and updates. Also now on there is the Japanese Kaiju Film Database, an ever-growing list of every feature-length Japanese Kaiju film ever produced from 1934 to 2025. You can follow us on Twitter at KAIJU_CONVERS. If you don't have Twitter, you can follow us on Instagram or like us on Facebook. If you're like me before podcasting and you don't have any social media, lucky you. You can email us at kaijuconversation@gmail.com, all lowercase, all one word, you know the drill. And as always, we'll read your reviews on air for everyone to hear. We also have a Teespring store. Eventually, we're going to work something out to have better merchandise on there. But until then, you can sport our awesome logo on a t-shirt or maybe even a coffee mug. If you'd like to chat with us, check out our Discord server full of others that have similar interests to you. Recently, there was a discussion about talking about artwork for various manga in the kaiju universe.
Oh,
it's a great
Gaiatama stuff. Oh, yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. It's a great community full of great people. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you can be notified anytime we upload a video. We sometimes post exclusives to the channel, like bloopers for episodes or minisodes talking about news or other subjects. And a huge thanks to Rex for editing all of these episodes in a timely manner and all the other content we upload. His links can be found in the description below. Along with Rex, we'd like to give a huge thanks and shout out to Danny DeMena of the Godzilla Novelization Project for his amazing vocals on our theme song. You can support him by following him on Twitter at danzilla93_GNP or visit his website GodzillaNovelizationProject.com. And a huge thanks to Gratton Conwell from the podcast Giant Monster BS for composing the music for our theme song. You can support him by following the podcast on Twitter at Giant Monster BS or on any podcast platform under the name Giant Monster BS. And with that, we're going to wrap things up here. So thank you guys so much for listening and being patient while we were away. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Rex, for coming back. It's great. I love doing this with you. And honestly, I've really missed it.
Yeah, it feels weird. It felt weird not doing this at all.
Like a piece of my life was just kind of missing.
Yeah, felt strange.
It made me feel a little bit more happy, to be honest, recording this.
Oh wait, did you say happy? But wait, now or before?
Now. It makes me.
I thought you were saying you were happy at not doing this.
No. I honestly, I think I was having a little bit of a depression spell from not doing the show.
Really? Wow.
So I'm really excited to be doing this again, and honestly, I can't wait for everybody to hear the episodes we've been sitting on. They were honestly a ton of fun. We have a request episode. We have some Daiei Kaiju. We have some Tokusatsu titles. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited for everybody to check those out.
Yeah, we even have some Toho titles.
We do. But with that out of the way, I just have one last thing to say. And as always, please remember, life's too short to not talk big. Bye, guys.
Bye.
We are set, we are in debt, there's nothing to sweat. Life's too short now, baby. And not too big now, baby. Conversation. His name's Elijah, baby. And also Rex now, baby. We love those kaiju, baby. And you will too now, baby.
Oh, yeah!
I'm not cutting that.
And
It'll just cut straight to that. Except I'm going to remove this context for it. I'm just going to keep the Hoya, get rid of this, and then just let it move on without me or you acknowledging it in any capacity.